Welcome to Happy Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas. My name is Doug, and today we're going to make some delicious lemon cream cheese bars. Stay tuned. So it's absolutely gorgeous outside today, and I decided we're going to make these lemon cream cheese bars. And they're sort of like a twist on my classic lemon bars that I usually make, but we're using some cream cheese to make it extra yummy. All right, so let me go through all the ingredients with you and then we'll start baking. So let's talk about the ingredients. So you're going to need a half cup of room temperature butter. So make sure you leave your butter out. That's 1 stick. You're going to need a 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. That's going to be for the crust, and also 1 cup of flour. So the 1 cup of flour, the 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, and the 1 stick of butter. That's unsalted butter. That's all for the crust. Then for the filling, we're going to use 1 block of Philadelphia cream cheese, the original. Make sure this is an 8-ounce block. Make sure it's room temperature. 1 cup of white granulated sugar, 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, and then lemon juice and lemon zest. We'll need approximately a tablespoon of lemon zest. So really we're going to use the lemon zest of 1 lemon, and then around 3 tablespoons of lemon juice from the lemon. You're also going to need powdered sugar for dusting later once it's baked. And you'll also need an 8x8 baking dish and a little extra butter to grease that baking dish with. So the crust, you'll bake it at 350 degrees in preheated oven for 15 minutes. Once you take it out of the oven, you're going to add the filling, and that's going to be back in the oven for an additional 25 minutes or so, maybe 30. And let's get started baking our cream cheese, lemon cream cheese bars. Can't wait. Okay, so you want to grease your baking dish. I got some softened butter here. Make sure you grease your baking dish really well, the sides and the bottom, and do a nice amount. Okay, so the next step is we're going to make our crust. And so we're using 1 cup of all-purpose flour, and then we're going to add 1 stick or ½ cup of unsalted butter. Make sure that it is room temperature, very important, and I like to cut mine up into little cubes like that. And then I'm going to add my 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. And then what we want to do is just mix that together, blend it really well. Next, I want to use my hands, and I like to just use my fingers and crumble that butter into the flour for the crust. And then I'll use the mixer one more time just to blend it together, and then you'll have your crust. So what we're going to do with our crust is we're going to put it in this 8x8 baking dish, and I'm just adding it to this grease. Make sure it is buttered baking dish, and we're just going to kind of pat it down. You want it all even as possible. One thing you might want to do is I always say this, get a dish rag and just place it at the bottom so it doesn't make that annoying noise. So I'm just patting it down, making sure it's all even, coming up just a little bit on the sides, not a lot. This is our crust. And then I like to use my fist and just pound it down like that. Perfect. So it should look like this. And we're going to add it to our 350-degree oven, and we're going to bake it for around 15 minutes. So the next thing you want to do is you want to get your lemon zest. So make sure you have a good zester. This is OXO. I love this zester. And I'm just gonna get the lemon zest from the entire lemon. And this is the lemon zest. Look how beautiful that is. All right, next we're going to cut our lemon. And we only need around 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. So I have half a lemon here. And I just need a little bit more juice, I could tell. Yeah, that's about 3 tablespoons right here. All right, now we're going to start to make the filling. Okay, so for the filling, we're going to add our 1 block of cream cheese. Remember, that's Philadelphia original cream cheese, 8 ounces. And then we're going to add our 1 cup of sugar. And I'm going to mix that until it's nice and creamy and fluffy. Okay, so I wanted to show you, it looks like this. And notice this bowl here, it has a handle, it has a pouring spout. I like to use this for this, this dessert because you have to pour it on top of the crust. So having a pouring spout just makes it easier. I'm not sure who gave me this, but it's so funny. It says in here, give me some sugar. Give me some sugar. All right, so we're going to add our eggs. Next, I always like to crack it in a separate bowl, just in case I get a shell. I don't always do it, but most of the time I do it. Any shells? Nope. Looks good. Gonna add it to my mixture. I'm gonna add my lemon juice. Remember, that's around 3 tablespoons of the lemon juice. We're gonna also add those 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour and that wonderful lemon zest. Make sure you get every bit. All right, I'm gonna mix that together. That looks really well mixed. Look at that, perfect. And now we're going to take out our crust, and then we're going to pour this on top of our hot crust, put it back into the oven, and bake it for an additional 25 minutes or so. All right, stay tuned. So that is the crust. And now I want to pour my mixture over the crust. See, that's why it helps if you have a bowl with the pouring spout. You want to make sure you get every bit. See how much? So go with a spatula and get every bit. All right, nice. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this back in the oven and bake it for 25 minutes. Okay, it is done, it is ready. You can see the sides are slightly brown and it is set. It looks fantastic. Now we have to let this cool completely before we cut it. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna place it in the refrigerator. Once it cools down here at room temperature, we're gonna put it in the refrigerator and let it stay in the refrigerator for at least an hour. Take it out, and then we're going to dust it with some powdered sugar and then give it a taste test. Stay tuned. Okay, so it's been about an hour and you have to put in the refrigerator. Make sure you put in the refrigerator, let it cool off in the refrigerator, and then cut them. And now we're just going to sprinkle some powdered sugar on it. Make it look really pretty. These are such a wonderful dessert for springtime, summertime, basically any time of the year, but I love having them around this time of the year. And now for a taste test. Really good. Oh, that cream cheese, so creamy. That taste of lemon, oh, so good. I love lemon bars or lemon cream cheese bars, so good. Thank you so much for joining us today on Happy Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas. Remember, if you want that homey vibe, you need to subscribe, and please give this video a like. Until next time, my friends, happy healthy living and happy baking. Bye-bye.